you are a female with a uterus, congratulations! You will most likely at some point bleed out of it. Yay, womanhood! Now, I'm not saying that you have to have a period to be a woman, but I'm also not here to have a big gender discussion right now. So save that one for Tumblr, guys. If you are a person with a uterus, you are more than likely to at one time experience Mother Nature's full wrath on your lower abdomen. So I thought we would just discuss everything related to periods and bleeding out of your body for a long amount of time. I know I have a lot of young girls that follow me, always asking me all about them bloody things. What? I actually did a very scientific thing, and I made a chart written in pink pen all about the different things that I use to cope with my period. So I thought we'd talk about them. And the reason why I think this video is kind of interesting is because I'm also going to talk about a couple newer ways to deal with periods that haven't been around forever, which is kind of exciting. Like, if you've never heard of them before, I'm going to talk about Thinx underwear, which are kind of like padded underwear, so you don't have to wear a pad or a tampon or anything like that. I'll talk more on that a little bit later. I'm also going to talk about the DIVA cup, which I have used for the past like 6 or 7 months. I'm going to talk about all of it, guys. It's good stuff. I'm going to talk about the things that I use to get rid of my bodily fluids. Yay! First off, you got your classic tampies and patties. They're, you know, standard. I think I used tampons first when I turned like 16, 17 and got my period. I honestly do not remember when I got my period. I think I just wanted to willfully ignore it. Let's talk about tampies first. Tampons, the pros. You can be active. It's not visible from the outside. You can wear a thong comfortably, and you can go swimming. I don't know why those were the things that when I was writing this down, that felt like important things to me. It's not eco-friendly. There's so much waste in tampons. Even the actual tampon itself, like you can get tampons that you just shove up without any applicator. I used those while I was in Amsterdam and I actually really liked them. For whatever reason, like, everything has so much packaging and so much plastic. If you're someone who is concerned about being eco-friendly, tampons are not always the best thing to have. You can also be prone to forgetting it and leaving it in. I have done that so many times. When I use tampons a lot, I would leave them in for way too long. Now, I never got toxic shock syndrome, which, by the way, if you're ever worried about toxic shock syndrome, let me tell you, it is really hard to get it. It's not like you leave in a tampon after like 3 hours and you suddenly faint and die and convulse. That is not how it works. It's like a very long process to get to that point where you would infect yourself. Trust me, they just have to put that on the box. The other thing is you have to carry tampons with you, which I know is like normally not a con, but I don't really like having to carry period stuff with me. So tampons, they're great if you're someone who's active, if you're someone who wants to be able to like take something out and throw it away and be done with it. They're great as a backup plan as well. Like, I might keep an extra couple tampons in my bag just in case if I'm in like a situation where I start my period. It's a good thing to have just on you. It's good to have them for other girls as well. I've realized like the #1 thing that someone will ask me for is a tampon. So sometimes I'll carry around extra tampons just in case someone else needs one. Pads. I have a lot of cons with pads. I don't think they're eco-friendly. They make me feel gross. I don't know about you, but pads make me feel gross. I also tend to leak out of pads, which is really weird. I don't know if I'm putting them in the wrong place, but I feel like everyone's hole is generally in the same area, and for whatever reason, pads do not agree with me. They always bunch up really badly. Don't like it. You have to know the day that you're wearing a pad, you know what I mean? You have to wear the pad pants and the pad underwear, which I don't necessarily like. The one good thing about pads is they're easy to find. You can buy them like at any store, anytime you need them, just like tampons. I gotta say, if I am gonna wear pads, it's gonna be on a lazy as fuck day. So my pad days are an excuse to sit at home and eat things and watch TV. And for whatever reason, I feel totally justified doing that when I'm wearing pads. So if you need an excuse to be lazy, pads. Now those are two very obviously traditional period methods of dealing with things. I know pads and tampons are the things that most women in my life use, but it's time to talk about 2 alternatives that I think are basically the equivalent of a pad and a tampon, but in a modern day eco-friendly way. So let's talk about it. First up, you guys have probably heard all over the internet about DIVA cups. DIVA cups are amazing. I have 2 actually, but both of them have been used several times, and I don't really want to show them on camera unless they're fresh. But they look like this. DIVA cups are interesting. They're silicone cups that you basically insert into the vagina. They puff out and hold, much like a tampon would hold. and then the blood collects into the DIVA cup at a certain point when you want to. You reach your fingers in, pinch the side, allow a little air bubble, pull it down, and you got your little DIVA cup out. Pour it out, done. It's eco-friendly, it's reusable. You can use it, I think, up to 2 years. I could be wrong, it could be longer. But they're great if you don't like carrying around period stuff. Like I said, I don't like to carry around pads or tampons, so having a DIVA cup is amazing. It comes with its own little package, so you don't even have to really like carry around the DIVA cup solo dolo, because that might be kind of gross. You can put it in its cute little carry package, put it in your bag, and carry it around with you all the time, even if you're not on your period, just in case it starts. It lasts a really long time. That's another thing that I really love. I typically use the DIVA cup for at least like 6 or 7 hours, and then I'll basically just change it twice a day. So in the morning, I'll put it in. Midday, I'll take it out, dump it, put it back in, and then by the end of the night, right before I go to bed, I'll take it out, dump it, put it back in, and then sleep in it. And I never feel gross about it. I've only had like a couple leakage moments, which I will talk about, which can be disastrous. I will say that's the one thing about the DIVA cup that can be a problem. The cons to a DIVA cup is that you can forget about that thing so easily. Like, I will completely forget how long that I've had it in. I have worn it to bed before, like I put it in right after dinner, so like maybe 7 or 8, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I turned my body incorrectly, and it was like a bloodbath on the DIVA cup, let me tell you. Granted, it was 3rd day period and I should have known better. I should have been wearing my Thinx underwear or something, which we're gonna talk about in a second. I rolled out of bed, Will was next to me, I was like, I gotta go. He was like, what's the deal? And I was like, don't worry about it. And then there was already blood on the bed. I had it on my hands because there was so much blood, smeared it on the wall, and then ran into the bathroom. It looked like a zombie apocalypse movie in our bedroom that day. It was not good. That's the only time it's ever happened to me. Other than that, it hasn't been a problem, and it's just because you need to empty it out more often. The other thing is, when you first put in a DIVA cup, be prepared to have a slight breakdown because you can't get it in or out. You need to practice it before it's like game time, honey. Take it out to coffee, have a little dinner with its family. Like, you gotta get comfortable or you will have trouble. One thing is, you kind of have to work with your vagina when you have a DIVA cup in. When I first tried it out, it wasn't on my period. I just bought it because I knew I was about to start my period, and I was so excited. And right when I put it in, it was great. It filled out. You fold it in half and then shove it up like a little origami thing, and then it just whoop, like comes out full bloom like a flower. But when you take it out, like I said previously, you have to pinch the side, let a little air bubble so there's not a suction as you're pulling out. So you're not like literally taking your uterus out with your DIVA cup. But the problem with that is that you kind of have to bear down. And what I mean is you have to use your Kegels. Give it a little shove when you're taking it out. And that can be a little bit to get used to. But if anything, I feel closer to my womanhood. Just remember that you have to put a little more effort in when you're using a DIVA cup. But then it's like the easiest thing in the entire world. You're not wasting anything. A whole box of tampons like is gonna be so much waste compared to using a DIVA cup for 2 years. Like, that's nuts. Also, you can get DIVA cups on Amazon. It's basically like a one-time buy, and they're not even that expensive. I think they're probably the same price as a box of really expensive tampons. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna talk about maybe my new favorite thing, the Thinx panties. Haha! These guys are amazing. I would recommend these to any first-time period goers. And the reason why I say that is because there is no messing with them. Like, you cannot fuck up in any way. If using a DIVA cup is like hard mode, Thinx panties are novice. Seriously, if you're someone who hasn't had their period yet or is nervous about having their period for the first time, go invest in some Thinx panties because they will make you feel so okay with everything. By the way, this is not sponsored by Thinx at all. I actually emailed their PR company to see if I could get a couple free, try them out. I've been using them for the past 3.5 months. They're great! They're so great! So basically what this is a standard pair of underwear. These are the big ones. The big ones. These this is the I don't know why that phrase would start cracking me up. These are underwear that have absorbent pads in the base of the underwear line. Instead of like bleeding onto a pad, you don't need a pad because the underwear itself is a pad. And the great thing about that is it's reusable. You can wash this in your washing machine, dry it like normal, and it'll be good as new to use the next day. So you could effectively have 3 pairs of Thinx underwear, which there are 3 different sizes, and just reuse them every time you had a period, which is amazing. And then you never have to ruin your other underwear. You never have to worry about using any of your pretty lingerie. My favorite thing is to wear a DIVA cup and one of my pairs of Thinx, just in case I have a leak, just in case. Then I can use this, and it's still a reusable option that's eco-friendly rather than using pads and tampons. Like I said, they have 3 different pairs of underwear. I actually don't know if they have more. I only have 3. They have a cheeky pair, which is supposed to be for a light day. Also, I gotta say, these undies are actually pretty sassy. And by sassy, I mean sexy. I have worn these before and Will has complimented my butt, so. Little did he know they were period underwear, but woo. They also have a sporty pair, which is actually in the wash right now, and it just kind of looks like a cool little sportier size, and that one's more of a medium. And then they have these big mamas, which are for heavy days, and these are called the hip hugger. So basically, it's just a thicker underwear compared to this one. And you can actually feel the difference in the pad. What I'm assuming they've done here is put several layers of cotton or absorbent material in between and then ended it on like maybe a plastic side or something like that. I have never had anything bleed through these underwear. It's crazy. If anything, I'm gonna bleed out the sides like a pad. The only time that I've had an issue with these guys is when I've gotten overly confident with a cheeky one and worn them all day on a full period day, and then I had minor leakage out the sides of either of these. The pros of these guys are they're eco-friendly, they're easy to use, they're great for beginners. You don't have to insert anything, which is amazing, but if you did want to insert something because you wanted to have like a combo effect of a tampon and a pad, you could use a DIVA cup or a tampon with these and still feel secure in whatever you're wearing. I just gotta say, I love these guys. Like, if I'm gonna recommend anything to you guys, if you're not a beginner on your period, or if you are a beginner on your period, grab some Thinx panties. If you're wanting to go a little more advanced, grab a DIVA cup, because once you get used to both of those, like I'm telling you, your period game changes. You're not wasting anything. And for whatever reason, I feel in control. Like I feel like, yeah, I'm not reliant on pads and tampons. I do this thing myself. I got my underwear, I got my DIVA cup, and I'm ready to take on the world. But anyways, guys, those are my tips and tricks and things for your period. I just want to help you guys out. You know, from one lady to another. So I will link the Thinx website if you're thinking about getting some undies. I will also link an Amazon link to get a DIVA cup if you want to check that out. If you prefer pads and tampons, that's great. You can get them at CVS down the road from you. They are everywhere. Let me know what your period routine is so that we can make this a very normal thing to talk about, because I think it's stupid that we feel weird about talking about blood coming out of our bodies. This was done to us. We didn't ask for blood to spew out of us for 7 days. That was not something that I signed up for when I got my V card. My vagina card, not my virginity card. Virginity is a social construct. Why do I feel so much more feminist when I'm talking about period stuff? I love it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have a period and deal with it on a regular basis, make sure to subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more stuff like this. Comment down below, let me know what you want to see next, what you want me to discuss, and I will see you guys for the next video. Bye!